to the Boiling Point. Ritchie Ware, Stephen Taylor, Director of the Rental Division. We're in a brand new 1,000 horsepower mobile boiler room that we are actually completing 2 of these to add to the 7 or 8 that we have in the fleet already. Yep. So keeping on with the theme that we've been talking about as far as just common parts in the boiler room, and ran across the spents and the pressure reducing valve, and just wanted to talk a little bit about what this actually does, what it is, and kind of go through there.
They're in all the boiler rooms. Most of your boiler rooms have them. Anytime you have to reduce your boiler pressure for a feed system or a heat exchanger, you want to control pressure, temperature, whatever you're trying to control, they'll typically use a Sparx or a Sparx Circle or something on that nature. This is it's a pressure control valve, so it's a pressure reducing valve. And then the pallets that you put with it are either pressure, temperature, or combination pressure and temperature.
Okay. All right. Now this is a Sparx, and we've actually got a Sparx Circle.
This is a Sparx Circle here
on the unit
on this deaerator in this system, and it's strictly pressure. Okay. We want to maintain about 5 psi in this deaerator system, and that'll give us about 227 degree feed water to feed the boiler with.
Okay.
And so that Sparx is just a pressure control valve that reduces the pressure to 5 pounds, and we can set it wherever we need to, so it's a very reliable valve for us.
You're talking about 5 pounds, you want to keep it at 5 pounds. What's this actually doing to do that?
It's we have whatever pressure we have feeding to it, and we size this thing to where we can operate that boiler at anywhere from 100 psi up to 225 psi, and the valve will still flow what we need to heat this deaerator up with. Okay. What it's doing, it's taking that 100 psi steam, 225 psi steam, and through these sensing lines, it's reducing it on the outlet to 5 psi, and it's got a set of diaphragms in here, and pressure from the outlet on the top side comes into the bottom side based on the spring load up there, and when it puts pressure on those diaphragms, that closes the valve off to equalize, and it's strictly based on the valve, the spring setting you put on the top on that pilot.
Okay, now that's pressure only, but there's, like you said, there's also temperature. And when would you use that?
A preheated feed water system where you want to maintain 180 degrees in the feed water system, but you can't stand 100 pounds of steam going into it. So it's a combination pressure and temperature control valve. So we're reducing the pressure, and you have an adjustment on there for 3 or 4 or 5 pounds, whatever you want to go into it. You also have an adjustment for temperature to maintain 180 degrees or whatever it is in that feed system. Heat exchangers the same way.
Okay. All right. Well, there you have it. Something very common in a boiler room. Make sure you go out to boilerwarehouse.com. You can actually see a lot more about it, but also maybe go out onto Google, and you can Google and look up what this actually does out there. So we'll see you next time on The Boiling Point.